Hi friends, let's see the app we are going to develop in the next couple of lessons. When you run this app, this is the main option screen. You will see a menu which is on a table view. So I can click on say employee options, then it will load this data, and all the employee data are loaded dynamically from a data source, right? And then I can click on employee, and then it's dynamically changing this page with that particular employee and the projects. If I go back and click another employee, you can see the same page is dynamically changing with that employee and the projects, which are all loaded dynamically. The images are also loaded dynamically from a data source, right? So it's different images loaded dynamically. And then I can delete employees. Let's say I can swipe and say delete, then it deletes the data, right? If not, I can click on edit and say if I want to delete something, click on this and click delete, right? And when I'm done, I can say done, right? And then further I can insert data dynamically. Let us say a section P and say Peter, for example, and click OK. So it all gets added dynamically, right? Then once I'm done with employees, I can go scroll down, right? And then I can go into department options, right? So department, and do the same thing for department, right? But it's very important that you have to make sure to look at the next couple of lectures in this on table views, that is part 1, 2, 3, etc., until we complete this app. It explains all the theory and the practical knowledge which you need to know about developing this app, right? Okay friends, we are very excited to show you how to develop this app practically, and let's do it now. Okay friends, so the following is the outcome of this part of the lesson. When you complete this part of the lesson, your app will look like this until you complete the other parts of the lesson. It will have a static menu taken from a static table view controller. You click on it, you can dig detail, and then in this you will be embedding a table view, right, into a view controller. But there's a special technique for you to apply to get this done, and let's see how. That's what you'll see in this, right? But after you complete this lesson, make sure to go and look at the next lessons in order to complete the full app demonstrated earlier. Instead of a static table view, right? So you have to get the point. So let's say you give a background of some background color. I'm just showing you, right? Some background color. So project 1, like just give me an example, right? And then this one as say project 2, right? So that means rather than using a static table view, it is about using stack views. So now you all know how to use stack views, because you saw our lesson on adaptive UI about stack views. If not, go and have a look at it. So keep in mind, in a situation like this, rather than using a static table view, it's preferred to use a stack view. Hope it's clear to you, right? But because we have done stack views, I'm going to show you another alternative for this. That is to use a container view, and then inside container views, right? Inside the container view, right? Okay, so that's an alternative. Inside the container view, you can embed a table view control. That's another option if you want, right? Let me show it to you, right? So now you know the most suitable one is a stack view, not a static table view for this. But if you really want to do it using table views, you can go for this approach. You can introduce a container view, and inside the container view you can embed a table view controller if you want. So that's another option. But keep in mind, stack view is preferred. But if you want to see if you really desperately want to use table view controller, right? If you're desperate to use a table view, let us say, this is how you do it. So I'm going to delete the stack view because of that, just because I want to show you this. So what you have to do is you will have to put a container view, right? So you introduce something called a container view. Container view can contain something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a container view, and I'm going to ask the container view to contain. I'm going to ask the container view to contain the table view controller. That's what I'm going to do actually, right? That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a container view. You can put a container view inside, right? Right? Awesome. And then the moment you put a container view, it comes with a default view controller. So keep that in mind. When you put a container view, it comes with a default view controller, and that view controller is embedded. So if I click on this segue, it says a embed storyboard embed segue. What does that mean is, when I put a container view, it comes with a view controller, which is that view controller is embedded inside the container view. What that means for you is, before that, let me give the constraints for this. So let us put this vertical spacing, and let's put leading and trailing spaces. Trailing space. Let's make it little. And let's give the constraints, right? Trailing space, leading space, right? And then what is this embedded view controller is? Let us say if I put a label, right? Let's say if I put a label into this. Let's say I put two labels, label 1 and label 2, right? What will happen is this. Now if I run this, right? If I run this, you will see that this view container is embedded inside this container view, right? Build succeeded. So if I go forward in this, click about this, see that what's happening is, because it's a container view, look at my mouse, container view, whatever you put in it, whatever it has embedded in the view controller is embedded into the container view. So whatever in the view controller will be embedded inside the container view and will be displayed here, right? That's what happened. So now what I want to do is, I don't want this view controller. Instead of that, I want a table view controller. So I'm going to put a table view controller, right? A table view controller, guys. So I'm going to put a table view controller. Let's say I'm going to put it here, right? And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to delete this view controller, right? Click the view, delete it, and bring the table view controller, and then drag from the container view, drag a segue, create a embedded segue. So I'm asking to embed that table view controller inside the container view. And then what you do is, you touch the table view controller now, right? So see, it's here. When you click, see, if I click here, it's container view is here. But if I click here, the table view controller is here. Look at my mouse, right? See, and then you go to table view. So now you go and make that table view static sales. So now remember, it's not a table view, it's a table view controller, and inside the table view controller, there's a table view, of course, right? So that is how, if you want to embed a table view into a view controller, into an existing screen, if you want to embed a table view, what you have to do is, you have to put a table view controller, then you have to put this, what you call this container view, and embed that table view controller in the container view, like I did now, right? And then the rest is what you have done. You can make it static cells, and then you can click on this, let us say, and you can say how many rows you want. Let us say the person is working on 3 projects, right? And then you expand it, then you click on the table view cell, then you say, okay, write detail, okay, you say accessories disclose indicated, right? And then you can expand this and add the details, but let's quickly first make it. Second cell, write detail, accessories, okay, disclosure indicator, right? Something like that. Click on this, make it, guys, write detail, and make the accessory disclosure indicator. Awesome, right? And then expand this, expand this, expand this, and then you can do whatever you want. Okay, if it's the project 1, let's say you will say, okay, the title is project 1, so the person is working on, say, 3 projects. Let's say project 1, let's say this is project 2, okay, my friends, project 2, and let's say this one is say project 3, right? Project 3, awesome, right? Awesome. And let's say you want to give some icons, like say P1, P2, P3. Let's quickly do that. Some project icons. Okay, just let's quickly do it now. Let's quickly put some icons. So let's add some images into this. Right click, add files, and download. So project icon, so make sure you get some icons, right? So find, get some icons. Okay, you add them as images, so I got them, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select on each of these table view cells, right? Project 1, I'm going to say image, right? When I click here, I'm going to get, right? So just click here, I can see the project icon image 1, right? Okay, then click on the second table cell, just click on the image, right? Table view, right? You can see say project icon image 2, click on the third table cell, put a space bar, right? If it's not coming, just put a space bar, right? Just press a space, then it will come, then the list will come. Let's say project 3, right? Or no, whatever, the project 5, what it is. So I added this, right? Now let's run and see this, guys, right? So if I run this now, you will see that the table view controller is will come embedded inside the container view, right? So let's run this now. Click on this, let's say click on this. Okay, just give me a sec. I'm expecting to see here. Let's see the description. Let's see why it's not coming, right? Let's see. So if you look here, you can see like in this view controller, right? Okay, if I click here in this view controller, you can see there's a red color mark. Let's click on it. When you click on it, it says missing constraint, right? Because one of the most probable reason for not seeing a not seeing any view on the output is something to do with the constraints. One of the most probable reasons is, so it looks like something like that. So it's a missing constraint. It says constraint view need constraint for height. So if you click here, it gives you some fix. It says adding mix constraint, right? So let's click and see what it adds, right? Let's click, it added a constraint. Let's click and see what it is. So if I click here, see, it has added some constraints, if you can see, right? So let's run this now and see if there's any improvement, right? If not, we will remove the constraints again and try, right? So let's click in. So it has worked, right? So remember, as I said, if you don't see any view in the output, one of the most probable reasons is something to do with constraints. So go and check the constraints. So it's working, right? So Anne is working on 3 projects. That is the project 1 is say P1, P2 and P5, right? And now this gives an idea that when you click on detail, you can go to another screen, which you know how to do, right? So I'm not going to do it. You can do it, right? But the idea is now you can even embed a table view controller inside inside another view controller, right? But for that you have to use a container view, right? Like I did now, right? But keep in mind, rather than doing this, one of the preferred approach is to use a stack view, right? As I said earlier, but look at our stack view lesson on under adaptive UI for you to know that, right? But this concludes this lesson, right? And now the thing is this, you might say, look here, I have hard coded. Yeah, that's what I said. This lesson is static, but we will do another lesson on dynamic, and let us say we will connect to a database, and let us say if Anne is working on say 5 projects, we will dynamically populate this with that 5 projects, right? So that is dynamic table views, right? So that if Anne is working only on 1 project, sometimes it's 1. If Anne is working on say 6 projects, this will be 6. And then if I go back and select say Colin, now it's not showing because I haven't done. Dynamically we can populate a table view, dynamic table view with Colin's projects, right? You get my point, right? So that we will do in another video about dynamic table views, right? You get my point. So to populate, like I'm populating Anne's projects, let's also populate Colin's projects dynamically, not only Colin's and all the other. I have not connected because this is just giving you overall idea. Okay guys, let's go and have a look at the things once again to see what we have covered, right? Okay, my friends, right? So in this session, we learned about continuous, we embedded, and we did practical code examples, right? Conclusion, you learn about UI table view. Okay, and now you know there's UI table view, and you know that previously we have been using UI table view controller, right? They are two different things. Then we were trying to add a static table view, and we realized that you can't do it. You can't have a static table view you for just in a normal view controller. For that, you realize it has to be a table view controller, right? But sometimes you can't put table view controllers in a situation like this. For example, in a situation like we wanted to embed, right? In that case, the suitable option is stack views. If not, if you really want that, you can have container views, and inside the container view you can embed, like we did here, you can embed a table view controller, right? So inside the container view, right, we embedded a table view controller, table view, right? So we embedded a table view controller. Okay, so we embedded table view controllers. That's the conclusion, right? And then, yeah, you can find the download link below in the description below, right, for this project. References, we use Apple Developer Docs, right? What's next? Look at our table view lesson 2 on dynamic table views, right? Then also have a look at our Objective-C, especially adaptive UI lessons. Have a look at other videos on Objective-C A to Z. Definitely make sure to look at our upcoming lessons on machine learning and data science. For that, just make sure you click subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon, because otherwise you will miss these important lessons which are very important on data science and machine learning, which is important for you to go and work in the industry, guys, right? Okay, so